Hey everybody, so I'm going to be doing this live Q&A and I'm going to be answering all your questions. If you don't know, I just opened up a beta launch for version 2.0 of my Amazon FBA course. It's closing down tomorrow, and so I think there's, last I checked, like 7, 8 spots left available. So I'm going to be answering a bunch of different questions and basically letting you know everything everything you can expect with this course. And the first thing I really want to share is this is something that's deeply meaningful for me. This last 8 years, for anyone that doesn't know, I quit my corporate job over 8 years, about 8 years ago, 7.5, 8 years. And honestly, my life for these last 8 years has been about going from a corporate drone. And I say that with love for anybody out there that is experiencing it. But when I say drone, I really mean that. Like, I felt like I was going into work every day and I felt like I was just a robot. I felt like all the life had been sucked out of me. My soul had literally been sucked out of me and I was just a robot. So actually, before I go any further, can you guys like this video and or leave a comment if you can hear me? I just want to make sure everything is working correctly. So give me a like and or leave a comment on this if you can hear me okay. But I'll keep telling the story. I assume that you guys can hear me. And so yeah, this is honestly, I went from corporate drone to a creator. And to me, that's the big shift that I think as humans, we need to make, as a society, we need to get back in touch with this ability that we have as humans to be able to create cool things. A lot of people I see in the corporate world, including myself at the time, were drones. We were collectively as a society, a lot of us are entering most of our time we spend at work, we're drones. Basically, we're just doing the same thing day in and day out. We're basically robots. And what I think the major shift that we need to make in society and as individuals is to become a creator. And so these last 8 years, I came up with this formula. I call it the Passion Product Formula. And that's everything I teach in my Amazon FBA course, is how to create things and how to create a product, a brand that you really believe in. Like, that is the most important thing, I think. I still haven't seen any comments yet. Is everyone being able to hear me? I see that there's been 9 likes so far, but no comments that I can see. Other than one person said, "Do you have a private label to sell? I was just ordering cheap stock in HRZ," but I haven't seen anyone else leave a comment. So leave a comment if you guys can hear me, because if not, oh, okay, there we go. John, hey John. All right, cool. So again, I'm going to be answering some of the most common questions I get. Specifically, most of the questions I'm going to be covering are for people that are looking to join the course. And as I mentioned, tomorrow's the last day. So I want to answer, I know before you join some kind of a course, you want to make sure that it's everything that you expect it to be. So I want to make sure and answer all your different questions. So a few different things I get, are a lot of questions I get. And as I'm answering the most common questions, feel free to leave in the chat any questions you guys have for me. So one of the most common questions I get is, if you don't know, the way my course works is you pay a deposit. And right now, you can go to, there's a link down below. If you want to get more information, you can click the link down below. You'll put in your email and I will send you all the information. But it's a pay what you want type of course. And the way that this works is you put in a small deposit, and then once you complete the course, launch your product, I'll give you back as much of your money as you want, as much as you think the course is worth. So if you go through, you complete the course and you say, "Hey, you know what? That was only worth $100. I'll give you back, most of your money." If you think, my goal is that you're like, "Man, that was worth every single penny," just keep the money. And my goal is to help you create a business that you're so passionate about and that you're doing so well that you don't even care about the money the deposit you paid for this course. And what I like to tell people, and again, the course, if you go through and complete it, is free, right? But what I like to tell people is, for the price of a vacation, basically a very cheap vacation, so the deposit, very inexpensive. For the price of an inexpensive vacation, you can basically join this course, learn all my secrets, like everything, my entire experience from the last 8 years, I'm condensing down into all these videos. And one of the most common questions I get is, well, what do I get if I join the course? And there is so much. Again, I'll put a link down below if you want to find out everything that it comes with. Basically, I'm throwing in the kitchen, like I'm throwing everything in the kitchen sink because I'm trying to make this as much of a no-brainer and as good of an opportunity for everyone as possible. And so the first thing that you get is the video lessons. There's 117 last I checked video lessons. I'm actually constantly adding new ones as I learn more and more. Right now, every week I'm adding new video lessons. And so it's 117 step-by-step A to Z lessons. And I've spent a lot of time trying to craft each of the lessons, trying to make them as step-by-step and go in order as much as possible. And the reason I'm doing this is so you always know what is the step to start your business. And I haven't gotten fully into my story yet. And trust me, when I first quit my corporate job, I was, like I said, I was this corporate drone. I was depressed. I was completely in a terrible place. When I first quit my corporate job, I had so much anxiety. I had a complete mental breakdown. I ended up having to check myself in to the emergency room. And the reason for that was I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't have any kind of a mentor or any kind of course or lesson. I didn't know, should I be going this way or should I be going this way? And I should be going left, right. Like I didn't know what the next step was for my business. And because of that, I completely got overwhelmed. I spent the first, I think, week. I don't talk about this story too often. This is a personal story. The first week or so, I barely got any sleep. I was drinking yerba mate, and I'm very caffeine sensitive. So I was drinking all this yerba mate because that's what Tim Ferriss does in the 4-Hour Work Week. And I was getting like 2 hours of sleep a night. And I thought it was going to be like a movie where, movies, you work really hard for a few days, and then all of a sudden you have $1 million company. It's not like that. Like, let me be the first one to tell you, it's going to take some time before you launch your business. And this is another question I get. I'll go back to the other question in a second, but another question I get is how long should I expect for this to take and how many hours? I recommend for this course, look, the more time you put into it, the better that you're going to do. But what I recommend for this course is 4 hours a week, ideally, you'd be putting into it. So that's, I think 4 hours or more ideally. Can you get away with less? Yeah. But if you did 4 hours a week, I think within possibly 3 months. I think that's hard to do. I think within 6 months, if you did 4 hours a week for 6 months, that's what my girlfriend, when I taught her to launch her Amazon business, she put in about that much time. And there might be moments where you have to put in a little bit more time or a little bit less time. But I think realistically, 4 hours a week for 3 to 6 months. Some people, if it's a more complicated product, it might be closer to that 9-month mark. And obviously it depends on how much energy and time you put into it. So let me go back to the first question, which was, what do you get with this course? And what do you get with joining the beta membership program that I have here? And as I want to mention, version 1.0 I released in actually, I think October, December of last year, right around that time. So it's been about a year, and I've had a lot of students going through it, and I see the mistakes in my teaching style. Like, I'll be honest with you, as I thought a lot of the things I was teaching made sense, but then I learned that, you know what, it made sense to me. And I see someone's asking a question about, can Indians join my course? And I'm assuming, yeah, can people in India join the course and will it work? And I'll answer that question in just a second. So just give me a minute. And I see there's some other questions there too with like healthy chocolate and some other people. So anyways, so version 1.0 of my course, really good. I think it was good, but I think version 2.0 is a lot better. So I'm taking everything I learned from this last year of teaching hundreds of students. Hundreds of students have gone through this, and I'm trying to figure out, where did people mess up? Where could I have done a better job teaching? And how can I make this the most freaking valuable thing out there? And honestly, here's the real truth. I'm putting in a lot more energy than I see a lot of other people that have courses. I've actually gone through and I've seen what a lot of these courses are, and I'm putting way more energy into this course than a lot of people. So that's the first thing you're going to get, is the step-by-step video lessons. The next thing you're going to get is weekly Q&A calls. And every week I do at least an hour. A lot of times I end up going over the hour just because I want to try to answer everybody's questions. I do weekly Q&A calls so you never get stuck. I want to make it so that if you have a question, you can talk to me. You can actually talk to me live. And here's the truth. If you send me an email, if you're in the course, I will respond, but sometimes that does take time because I get a lot of emails. But that's why I make time every week to do a Q&A live call. And that's, again, so you never get stuck, because I know what the feeling of having a burning question that you need to be answered. And that's why I make myself available for the Q&A calls. The other thing that you're going to get with this, you're going to have an entire community of other passion product sellers, other Amazon sellers that will help you out. And I'm going to be giving you access to my private Facebook mastermind, and it's a Facebook group that's only for people that have joined the course. So it's, you got to imagine, the biggest reason to join something like this is it gives you access to these other people that are just as dedicated as you are. And that's in my life. The way to use money is by getting leverage on yourself. What I mean by this is if you join a course like this, you're dedicated, you're committed, you're going to hit your goal. And you're going to be connected with other people that are dedicated, committed, and are trying to hit their goal. And so that's a really powerful thing to be a part of. And, you know, one thing I haven't mentioned yet that I probably should say, as I mentioned, you know, I quit my corporate job over 8 years ago. I've done at this point, I'd have to double check on the exact number, but it's right around, if not, I think it might be over $5 million of online sales. I know how to do internet marketing. I spent the last 8 years really honing this craft. My Amazon business I talk about on this channel all the time has done over $1 million in sales. It's, you know, it's on average since I've launched it, it's doing over $300 a day profit for me. The crazy thing is within the first 2 months of launching this product on Amazon, I was doing over $300 a day. And people ask me all the time, what's in it for me? Like, why am I teaching this stuff? It's because I want you to know everything that I had to struggle to learn. Man, I had to go through a lot of pain and torture to learn everything that I learned. And it shouldn't be that hard. It's a very easy process, actually. And that's why I broke it down step by step. Like, what is the process for success? And when I first, again, going back to my story, when I first quit my corporate job, as I mentioned, the first week after quitting my corporate job, I checked myself into the emergency room because I had a complete mental breakdown, panic attack. And then the next several years were some of the first 5 years after I quit my corporate job were the hardest years of my life. And the reason why, again, is because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have any kind of direction. I didn't even have a lot of friends in the space. And that's another part of this course is it's going to get you access to other people that are on the same level as you. So obviously it's going to get you access to me as a mentor and the course and all the knowledge I have, but it's access to those other people. Another bonus with joining the course is I'm going to shortcut your results with some one-on-one training. It comes with 4 one-on-one training sessions with me. 4 sessions, which is a lot for me, especially because now I'm raising my prices on that. So that's over $1,000 value. I'm raising my price on one-on-one training because, to be honest, I know it's funny to me because I realize I know a lot about this subject, and it's something that's almost hard for me to admit is how much I know about e-commerce, because it's one of the, like, I try to stay as humble as possible on this channel and everything, but this is a skill that I've been developing. And so now I'm starting to raise my price for that one-on-one training. But if you join, you get those one-on-one calls. And I'm also, like, as I mentioned, I'm throwing in the kitchen sink here. I'm going to be doing a bunch of bonus courses, a Shopify bonus course, because, you know, once you're done or once you've launched on Amazon, the next step is to create your own website. I'm going to be doing a YouTube bonus course, a Facebook ads bonus course, a Google ads bonus course. You get all that. Let me get to some of the questions here, and then I'll kind of go back to some of the most common questions I get. So we got Rachel, I think, watching from Singapore. Cool. Yeah, someone asked, Amazon workers asked, can my course also be used for India? Yeah, absolutely. It's the principles. So I'll just say this really quick. My course and my teaching style is all about teaching the principles of how to have success on e-commerce, on Amazon. And I do stay up to date with the latest tactics. And let me explain this really quick. Principles never go away. There's certain principles about internet marketing, about marketing in general, about how to create a good product that are never going to go away. And then the tactics, those change. The tactics change all the time. And so my goal is to stay up to date on the tactics, but 90% of the course is principles. How do you create an amazing product? How do you get people to know, like, and trust you and want to buy your product? Paul P said he wrote me by Instagram. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. I love the emojis here. EcoSpace Company said, can I join your course in a month? I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't plan on reopening it anytime too soon. So if I were you, let me ask you, EcoSpace Company, why not join now? You can join now. You can hang out. You can use the course whenever. So that's the good thing about the course. You don't need, like, you can join now, and even if you don't start it for a month or two, that's okay. The lessons are going to be there for you all the time. And the Q&A calls, I'm planning on doing them for quite a while here. Okay. So Richard said he's from somebody in the course. I'm having a hard time getting into the linked documents from the Google Sheet checklist. It's bringing me the effect of a commerce website to ask for a login. Thank you, Richard. Let me write that down. So this is, let me write this down. That's really important. One of the things that I did is the old website was the effective e-commerce website. That was version 1.0. I brought it over to a new website that's way better. It's a lot more streamlined. It cost me a lot more money to host it, the new course there, but I think it's worth it for you guys. And that's why it's a beta still, is because there might be some links missing. And that's why I'm giving such a freaking great opportunity. It's actually really crazy. I'm giving such a great deal on this is because there might be some little mistakes here and there. And so, as a thank you for everybody that joins right now and is helping me go through this beta, I'm making it a pretty sweet deal, I hope. So Richard, I'm going to get those fixed. And I think I don't know if I added it, but if you email, anytime you run into anything, if you email help@passionproductformula.com, my assistant should be able to get to it really quick. We got Ariana Chadrawi saying hi with a heart. Aw, that's my girlfriend. Let's see what else we got. So Richard Shen said, I bought a few FBA courses, which I regretted so much. All look pretty much the same. What are the additional value brought in by your course? Robert Shen, great question. So I was talking to that a little bit earlier, all the different things that I'm adding. So what's the value that I add that other people don't add? A lot. First off, here's the biggest thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I care more. I care. You can join these giant courses where you got some guy that, he's just laying on a beach somewhere, making that passive income. He's not actually actively helping you out. I'm here trying to help you out. I'm trying to actually make you successful. And so how do I do that, right? Well, I'm trying to also build a community here. So I introduce you to a accountability buddy. I introduce you to another person that has similar interests as you, that actually maybe is in the same time zone as you, someone that I think you'll get along with. I introduce you to this accountability buddy, and you guys can communicate and kind of go through the course together. On top of that, I introduce you to 4 to 5 other people that are in the course, and it's up to you guys if you want to do this, but there's a weekly mastermind where you and 4 to 5 other students meet every week and hold each other accountable, ask each other questions, learn from each other. I also have the Facebook group, which I know a lot of people have a Facebook group, but I'm really trying to make the strongest community around, because in a lot of other Amazon courses, everybody's really nervous about I don't want to share my product. I don't want to share any details. I'm eliminating that. And the reason I'm eliminating that is because people in my course are happy to share what their product is. It's like a non-competitive zone because everybody's creating unique products that they're passionate about. So basically, it's a really unique opportunity. On top of that, the weekly Q&A call, I wasn't going to announce this, but I'll tell you guys this. I'm doing currently a weekly live training on top of the weekly Q&A call. So not only do you get access to all the lessons that are already there, but every week I'm adding new lessons. And I'm as people ask me questions, I add it to the FAQ section. So right now I think we've got 40 FAQ videos as well, which is questions people are asking me, really interesting things. So that's some of the stuff that I'm doing. Richard Shen or Robert Shen. Let me know, what would you be looking for? And that's another thing I ask for everybody that joins is, hey, how can I make this better? I'm constantly trying to, it's almost like a personality flaw, because I'm always trying to make things better, which is, not good if you're around me sometimes, but it's really good if you're in my course, because basically I'm constantly trying to improve. I'm kind of constantly trying to do everything at a higher level. And that's why, sometimes my YouTube videos, I do 7 rounds of editing, but the same goes true with my course. So basically, another thing I ask is for people that join my course, if there's an issue, let me know and I'm going to fix it. If something's not clear, I'll refilm the video or I'll make a better video or do something like that. So again, I think EcoSpace said, can I start in a month? Again, I'm closing registration tomorrow. So yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, Nelson retracted his message. I just missed it. Sorry, Nelson. Nathan Clark. So I appreciate the fact that you said you're not trying to troll me, but do you think it was a little dumb luck in finding your product? No, it absolutely wasn't. So at that point and I mean this with as much humility as I can, because at that point I'd been doing e-commerce full time. Remember this, 40 hours a week minimum for 5 years. What I did, I have a checklist. I have a checklist of things on what makes for a good product. First off, my product was trending. It was something that I saw was on an upward trajectory. Second off, there was search volume for it. I saw that people were searching for this kind of product. Third off, there was a hole in the market. There was a lot of other nut butter products out there, and I knew that this was something that was missing in the market because it was something that I wish existed. I talked to friends, family, I talked to other people, and they all agreed that, yeah, this is a missing product. I looked at the data. There's a lot of data. It was a consumable product, so I knew that they have to reorder every month. I don't remember if I mentioned it's a premium product, so I can charge a high value for it, and that means higher profit margins. It was brandable. It had a very strong branding element. I was able to leverage influencers. I don't remember if you're, Nathan, I feel like your name's really familiar. I don't remember if you're in the course, but if you look in the course, and I've actually recently added an even more in-depth checklist for how to know that how to validate your product. And in the course, I have a checklist of everything you should look for in your product. And actually a lesson I'm going to be adding next week for anybody that is in the course, I'm going to be doing the live training that I do on Thursday mornings. I'm going to be teaching how to do a scorecard for your product and how to know if your product's going to be successful. There's math and science behind it. And I'll be honest with you, there's a little bit of a gut feeling, but dumb luck is definitely not part of it, Nathan. I know you don't mean that in a you're saying you're not trying to troll me, but trust me, I would not call it that. And for me, I'm a relatively, I feel like I try to be as humble as possible, obviously, but I think I'm a relatively intellectual person. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. I think things through a lot. Let's put it that way. And for me to jump into something, I thought about it a lot before I did it. So, there's always luck in life. There was some luck in the fact that keto blew up as much as it did. Yeah, but I saw that trend coming from a mile away, and I had been interested in that trend for a long time. And I saw that it's kind of like Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky says he was the best hockey player. Why? Not because he didn't skate to where the puck was. He skated to where the puck was going. And that's my real goal in this course, is to teach you how to figure out where the puck is going. Anyways, let me see what other Richard had some nice words to say. He says, lots of good content. Travis is one of the more earnest types of people online selling these courses. Appreciate the transparency. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, for everybody on this live, I always am honest with everything. And it's tough because there's this line between marketing things well and being honest, because, here's the truth. A lot of people try to sell this as a get rich quick scheme. It's not. But what it is, if you put in the work, if you put in a little bit of hard work right now, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You can create passive income. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying you're going to create a business that for the rest of your life is going to be making you millions of dollars. No. But for me, for instance, my story, within 2 months of launching my product on Amazon, I was making $300 a day, literally passive income. I set up some systems in place so I could I hesitate to say this, but I could lay on the beach, and I didn't do that. I created my YouTube channel. I really started doubling down and working hard on my YouTube channel, but the space and freedom that having this money coming in, it allowed me to find something that I was really, really passionate about. I was passionate about performance nut butter, but for me, teaching and doing the course and doing the YouTube videos is next level. I would teach this course even if I didn't make any money. The reason I charge money for this is because I want to make sure that you're dedicated. I've tried to help a lot of people out for free. And what ends up happening is they end up quitting on me. When I've had a lot of people be like, let me teach me for free. And I'm like, yeah, sure. In the early days, I would do that. And then as soon as it got tough, they're like, you know what? Oh, this is hard. I'm going to go do something else. So now what I do is require them to put the money down, put their money where their mouth is. And that's actually, if you want to get people to get results, you need to have something at stake. You need to have them so that basically they already put the money, if you join this course, you put the money down saying, I'm joining this course. And as I mentioned, once you complete it and launch a product, if you come to me and you say, you know what, that course wasn't worth anything, I'll give you 100% of your money back. I'm so confident in this course, in this system, that you're going to be happy with it, that I'm willing to make that kind of a claim here. So I see there's some other questions. So we got Amazon worker saying, bro, we're starting a new e-commerce multi-vendor, so we need some basic course. You can provide basic course, bro? It depends what you mean by basic course. I think this is a pretty in-depth course, but you can check it out. So Rob, if you want to, Rob asked how much is the course. Click on the link in the description and put your email in there. You'll get all the information. I'm trying to convince people to click on the link rather than like answering all the questions right here. So go ahead and do that, and you'll see all the information about it. It's pretty affordable. I'm not trying to make you not trying to whatever. Robert, I see that you do have some more questions. I'm going to get to you in a second. Someone asked, I would like to set up my LLC first before I pay the fee so that the fee is tax deductible. Can you wait till my LLC is set up? If you can get your LLC set up by tomorrow, and by the way, the fee is still tax deductible. You can still deduct it even if your LLC isn't set up. You can be a sole proprietor and still deduct business expenses. Yeah, so Akeem said, Robert Shen, I'm considering buying a course. What makes the course you bought so bad? Let's see. I'd be curious to hear that too. I think you may have answered that later, Robert. And let's see what else we got here. So Sally Letchin said, how much should we budget for upfront cost? Inventory, shipping, research, etc. The answer is it depends. I have a video on my channel. If you look, I think it's like how much it actually costs to sell on Amazon 2020 or something like that. I go into depth about that. The quick answer is if you do crowdfunding, if you do a Kickstarter, you can raise, like right now, if you guys go to getcocktailcards.com, one of my students, I partnered with one of my students. So far, he's raised $4,300 on his Indiegogo. Basically, before he spent a dime, he's already raised $4,300 on cocktail cards. Now, we did pay a little bit of money for some of the design work, but basically, to answer your question, if you don't do a Kickstarter, you should expect to spend $3,500 to $5,000 as a typical range. But if you do a Kickstarter, you can raise all the money you need. Like right now, AJ's doing with cocktail cards. He's already raised $4,300. So if you need $4,300 to start and you can raise $4,300 with Indiegogo or Kickstarter, then the answer is not much. Now, I'm going to be honest again. Doing an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter is going to take some work. By the way, guys, I see that 41 people now are watching this and we only got 15 likes. Do me a favor. If you're actually paying attention, let me know by hitting the like button because I want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself here. I see 42 people joined and only 15 likes. So smash that like button to let me know if you are actually paying attention. So let's see. All right. So Robert Shen said, what is your product sourcing approach? Sourcing in the US or in China? It completely depends on the product. I think, for instance, my food product, Performance Nut Butter, which I talk a lot about on my channel, I source that from the US, not surprisingly. Certain products make sense to do in the US and certain products make sense to do in China. My girlfriend's company, Vino Cards, that I helped her start, we do that in China because it makes sense. I'm looking... This is a super secret project. I'm looking to start a new product next year that is going to be a clothing item. And I'm going to source that in the US actually, because, ideally I'd like to always, I'd love to support America whenever I can, but sometimes American manufacturing is way overpriced and it just doesn't make sense. I'm all about supporting American companies, but I'm also an American company. So it's finding that balance. So I think it's completely... it doesn't have to just be, a lot of people are just all about Alibaba. No, think bigger than that. There's a lot of really cool places out there. Akeem also said, what course did you take in the past, Robert? All right. We're getting a lot of questions. Thank you guys. We just got 30, we're up to 30 likes. So that makes me feel, thank you. That actually makes me feel really good because, sometimes I'm just right now I'm just talking to myself and I'm like, man, is anyone even watching? So it's good to see the likes come in on that. Pretty much the walkthrough of the whole, let's see. Can you coach us how to use Helium-10 or on how to search for what is trending with keywords but may not exist yet? Yeah, Richard, honestly, if tomorrow I'm releasing a new product exactly on that, let's see, trending with keywords but may not exist yet. Yeah. So I'm releasing a new lesson in the course. So one thing I'm doing with the course, just to let you know, Richard, and anybody else that's in the course watching, I'm going to start sending out a weekly update email. And the update email is going to update you on all the different students. And so one of the things I'm really excited about is I'm going to have a weekly update email that says, hey, AJ just launched his product on Indiegogo. Go support him. You know, Mike just launched his product on Amazon. Make sure to buy it and leave a review. So that's going to be one part of the weekly update email. The other part is about the newest lessons I'm adding. And so I'm adding a lesson exactly on that. And what I want you to do, Richard, if you don't mind, is once you see that email, I'm hoping to send out the email tomorrow. Once you see that email, watch the lesson. Let me know if that answers your question. If it doesn't, email me. And if you still have questions, I will dive in deeper. And to answer your question, yeah, I think Helium 10 is a very powerful tool. I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but I think it's a very powerful tool. Let's see. So Robert Shen, let's see. Oh, wait, Robert, you asked that question. You're not in the course yet. No, Richard asked that question. Okay, no, sorry, I got it mixed up. Richard asked that question, and then Richard and Robert, I'm getting them mixed up. So Robert said, you know pretty much the walkthrough of the whole Amazon FBA business. The real problem is how to get started with a product. Oh my gosh, Robert, that's my bread and butter. Like that's the thing that I really care about. To be honest with you, you're right. Anybody can teach you how to set up your Amazon seller account. Anyone can teach you how to set up a product on Amazon. The stuff you should, man, I think, Robert, you should join. And like I said, 30 days, all you got to do is email me and I'll give you 100% of your money back. It's not like I'm not trying to trick you here, but that's my bread and butter is how do you actually get a product started? I hope to see you, man. That'd be great to see you, Robert, in the course. So let's see. Yeah. Robert said he still hesitated. Like I said, I'm going to be completely open with you. If you join and you decide within the first 30 days it's not for you, I'm not going to be hurt. I'm going to completely understand. So yeah, the most difficult part, you're 100% right, Robert. The most difficult part of an Amazon business is really to find a good product. So version 1.0, I'll be completely honest, of my course. So last year when I launched it, I thought I had a decent method on how to find a product. But in this version 2.0, I have a much stronger approach. And specifically, Robert, if this is something you've struggled with before, I'd love to work with you more and see if I can figure out a method that'll guarantee that you'll find a successful product. Obviously, it guarantees it is a guarantee. Otherwise, you get your money back, obviously. And another thing I want to point out as a side note. So if you go to getcocktailcards.com, that's AJ. We have a business together. So AJ, I took a very small percentage. That was actually my idea. Cocktail Cards was my idea, and I gave it to him. And the reason I gave it to him is because he showed up every week to the weekly Q&A calls. He's very smart. I could tell he was smart, driven, hardworking, but he was having an issue coming up with an idea. So, Robert, people like you are the people I want to help the most because I think that there's two types of people, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously oversimplification, but there's some people that, like me, I think I'm really good at coming up with ideas, but executing is probably not my strong suit. And AJ, I think he can come up with ideas. I'm not saying he can't by any means, but I think he's better at executing than me. Because the thing with my head is I'm constantly I have so many ideas. It's like trying to, I don't know a good analogy, but it's like trying to catch fish in the air. It's like, there's so many. And so when I'm trying to do something, I'm constantly having ideas where I know other people are better suited to actually implementing. So I'm willing to bet, Robert, that once you come up with an idea, you're going to probably implement it. You're going to probably be a really good operator. And so I would love to see if there's a way I can work with you, Robert, on either give you one of the ideas that I have, because I have a few different ideas, or, and funny enough, with AJ, just really quick, the Cocktail Cards guy, I approached him with this idea and he's like, yeah, you know what? I've been a bartender for 10 years. That he was passionate. He actually already had an Instagram about bartending. And I'm like, oh my, it wasn't a very, it wasn't highly set up, but I think he reserved a name or something like that. So anyways, Robert, yeah, finding a product is the most difficult part. AJ said, I skipped over some questions. I see it, man. There's a lot of questions coming in, guys. For anybody new that has just joined, I'm asking for a favor. Can you please smash that like button, because it lets me know that you're actually paying attention and that what I'm saying is actually being helpful. So smash that like button, and I'll keep going with some of the Q's in the Q&A. Let's see, Sally. How much should we budget for upfront costs? I think I already answered that, Robert Chen. How long have you been in business? Hi, I was looking for your product on Amazon but could not find it. Are you still selling it? Yeah, I'm still selling it. Are you in? So I space RN. I'm in the U.S. Are you looking in the U.S.? Yeah, James Vaughn. I think Vaughn. Bogon? I can't, I'm terrible at names. James V said, you're right. You got to have skin in the game. Yeah. I get people asking me all the time, you know what? Can I join the course, but I don't want to pay anything, but will you still help me? And it's just, maybe some of those people will work out, but generally speaking, the people that ask that end up flaking on. I every single time I've ever had that happen, they flaked on me. So Brian said, can you pay in installments? Right now, I'm not doing installments because honestly, here's the thing. There's a number of reasons I'm not doing that. It's just more of a headache for me. I got to track it. And my honest opinion is I don't want to say that. Actually, never mind. But that's not something I'm doing right now. I want to make sure it's people that can afford to pay the entire deposit up front. And to me, it's not that much money. So if that is a lot of money for you, this may not be the ideal course. So AJ, I don't know if that's AJ Rance. I don't think it is. AJ Rance is my business partner with Cocktail Cards, though he's the main boss. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's in charge. I'm just like I got a small percentage consultancy. Let's see. So, we got some more likes. Thank you for everybody that's watching. We're up to 37 likes. Thank you guys. Let's see. Can you pay? Okay, no. When did I feel like I made it? AJ, thank you for that question. Right now, that's when I feel like I made it. Yeah, that's when I feel like I made it, is when someone asks me, when do you feel like you made it? That's when you know you make it, is when someone else is asking you that. I'll answer the question a little bit more honestly, and it's such a gradual thing. There's no black and white moment. I'd say one of my happiest moments I'm looking at right now, I got my 100,000 subscriber plaque on YouTube. That was one of those achievements that was very black and white in the sense that most achievements are really slow, but hitting $100,000, getting the silver play button in the mail is like, wow, it felt physical. It felt real, because the thing you got to understand is a lot of the achievements I've made are they're online. They're kind of digital, and they don't feel as solid or tangible. So 100K, it comes in moments. There's little moments here and there when you're like, when I'm laying on the beach on a Tuesday, and it's the middle of a Tuesday, and I'm just, I was sick of work and I just went to the beach on a Tuesday. I feel like I made it then. When I wake up and I go surfing, I've been for anybody listening that's new, I've been trying out surfing. I'm going to be doing some videos on that actually soon. Thanks. That's a really nice question to ask, AJ. I really appreciate that. But here's the truth about it. Making it such an open-ended term. Honestly, what's cool? I go to a restaurant now. I don't care what the price is. It's like, I want that. I want the duck. I want the steak. I'm going to get the steak. Now look, I don't always get the most expensive thing just because I can afford it, but it's like, it doesn't matter. That's what's really nice. Another thing where I felt like I made it, I took all my friends out to a pretty nice dinner, over $500 dinner, and I paid for them all. It was my birthday. It was my birthday, and I paid for them because I valued them so much. And I was like, thank you. Like they supported me. Like they've helped me out so much that I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate you guys. I know it's my birthday, but I want to pay for you. TC, I remember you were always, in some of the lives and some of the content says, hey, Travis, haven't seen your content in a long time. Glad to see everything is still so genuine. What have you learned and changed due to COVID? Honestly, so a lot of the principles since COVID are pretty much the same. Let me come back to that question, TC. What have I learned and what have I changed? Honestly, what I've learned is that e-commerce is 100% the future. 100% the future. And like this just proved it so hardcore. And there's this idea that things like this, big events like this, don't change the path that society's going on. They increase the speed at which it happens. So we were already moving towards e-commerce, but because of COVID, it happened at a way faster pace. All right. We're up to 40 likes, guys. Thank you so much for everybody that's watching and hitting the like button. It does mean a lot. I want you to know that. Akeem said the price for the course. There's a link down below. So I'm going to point this out for everybody. There's a link down below. It says, passion or my Amazon FBA course. I'll see what the link says. It says my Amazon FBA course, and it has a link. You put your email in there, and you'll get like all the information about the course, including the deposit price to join and all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty reasonable. Yeah. So Oscar Cuesta said, is there anything else you have created, any other products? So performance nut butter, vino cards, cocktail cards coming out soon. I don't talk about this on the channel a lot, but I had a dance clothing company I still technically have a dance clothing company. I've had it for like 8 years. And so that was my first company, lots of different dance clothing products. And within performance nut butter, there's been a few different products. There's been 3. I'm about to launch another one actually pretty soon. Inside scoop here is only for you guys that are watching. I'm doing some jars of original flavor performance nut butter. So that'll be cool. So EcoSpace Company said, what about the legal issues like seller permit? Yeah, I talk about that all in the course. I also talk about that on this channel. They're pretty easy. Seller's permit, all that kind of stuff. You don't need to worry too much. Let's see. If I do have 3 products but different sizes, how many UPC code that I need? Thank you. So every different product needs its own UPC code. So if you have 3 products, and if you have one product that's 3 different sizes, it's 3 UPC codes. If you have 3 different products and each product has 3 sizes, then you need 9 UPC codes. Let's see. I think I'm just going to keep going with these questions, guys. Guys, and please let me know if you have questions with the course. That's the primary reason I'm doing this Q&A, because tomorrow, again, is the last day to join the course. So since tomorrow's the last day to join the course, I wanted to answer everybody's burning questions. And as I mentioned again, let's see if anyone's joined since this call, actually. I think last I checked, there was 7 spots left. I think someone's joined. And so I have to update it manually with how many spots are left. I think there was one person that had joined. Let me see if I can figure out who it was. See if it's someone on the call. If you're on the call and you just recently joined, put it in the chat. Yeah, so Nathan Clark, I agree with you, by the way. I'm going to get to your comment in a second. Yeah, okay, so Koniski, I don't know how to pronounce names. I'm so sorry. The Shopify course, so just to let you know, the Shopify course is still under construction. What I think I'm going to do, because right now most of the students aren't at that stage yet. So what I think I'm going to do is basically do like a weekend, either a 1 or 2 day event where once I get enough people that are asking for the Shopify course, I'm going to do a 1 to 2 day event breaking down how to start a Shopify store with everybody and then film the course as we go through it live. So don't worry, the Shopify course is coming very soon. Let me see if I can go to people. Let's see if anybody joined since we did this live Q&A. All right. So did you inquire/register for a trademark before, during, or after your Kickstarter? I don't remember. I think it was after the Kickstarter. It may have been before, but it doesn't matter. You can do it whenever. Hi TV. I don't know if that means Travis. So Rob says, do you use any PPC tools? No, not really, to be honest with you. So let's see. I'm not gonna use the names just in case. David G. I'll just use that. David G just joined the course at 6:30, so just 16 minutes ago. So thank you, David G, if you're on here live with us, for joining. Excited to have you in. So I guess there's less than 7 spots, probably 6 spots. All right, guys, I'm going all over the place. So right now, for anybody new that's joined, right now I'm going through and I'm answering any questions and comments that people have been posting. So if you do have a question or a comment, put it in the chat. We're almost caught up here. And for anyone new also, as I mentioned, smash the like button. All right. So Elsie said, can you offer any knowledge around working with suppliers in Mexico? That's a deeper question. We probably should take that off. I'm not super well versed in Mexico, but I think a lot of the same principles apply. If you do end up joining the course and that is something that you want to talk about, I would be happy to work with you in depth, because anything I don't know, I want to learn so I can teach other people in the course. So that might be something I could work with you a little bit more in depth with if you do want to join. So even though I'm not an expert, I'm happy to learn. Though, like I said, a lot of the principles for working with people in Mexico is the same as working with people here in the States. By the way, I think 54 viewers are on right now, which is the most I've ever had on a YouTube live, which is kind of exciting. Like if you think about 54 people in a room, that's a decent amount. So Rolly B says, can you talk about the products that need approval and how to overcome it? It's very simple. You just got to give them documentation that you bought legit stuff. That's something, I can talk to you more in depth about if you end up wanting to join. That's a more in-depth question for sure. But the short version of the answer is if you just got to give them proper documentation that you're legit. So RN said, I'm not really socially active on Facebook, Instagram. Can I still succeed? Of course. Nathan Clark said, if you can't afford 1K, you don't stand a chance on Amazon. And, there's exceptions to that. I generally feel the same way. There's exceptions to that. I have seen people succeed that got no money and they just end up working really hard and they end up doing a really big Kickstarter, like a crowdfunding campaign. Here's the thing. Money is leverage. If you spend money to help save time, then, if you spend money, you can help save time, you can help save energy, and that's just how it works. People with more money are going to have an easier time launching a business, generally speaking. Obviously, that's not always true. But if you take two identical people and one has, 20 grand in the bank and one only has $300 in the bank, I'm going to put my money on the person that has 20 grand, right? So having money definitely helps, but I've seen some spunky people that don't have a lot of money, but that are able to find a lot of success. So let's go. Renee said, do you do 3D renders for your main image? Yeah, I do. I do, Renee, I do 3D renders. And yes, I have a list of everybody I use for just about everything for people that join. I don't share that with everybody because for obvious reasons, I don't want, if I shared who my 3D render guy is with everybody, then when I try to go use him, I wouldn't be able to use them. Same thing with some of my manufacturers for my boxes and stuff like that. I have a list of my contacts that I do supply to everybody that ends up joining the course. So JB says, is the course live or recorded? There's two different there's different components. There's a lot of recorded videos. There's 100 plus recorded videos, but there's also a weekly live Q&A call. So AJ said thumbs up. Thank you, AJ. All right, we're almost caught up. All right, so we're at 51 concurrent viewers, 42. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit strange because I'm just sitting. You got to imagine, again, I said this earlier, but I'm just in a room talking to myself here. So Nico said, well, let's keep going. Sam W, if I do have one product but different size and different color, how many barcode needed? I kind of already answered that earlier. Is this about FBA arbitrage or private label? Neither, Heather. This is closer to private label, but it's how to create a unique product, how to create a product that you're passionate about. Not just take some junk product off Alibaba and slap your brand on it. This is how to create something that you actually believe in. So that was my product, Performance Nut Butter, my girlfriend's product, Vino Cards. If you go on my channel, I've got a lot of student success stories. Troy, he made tennis grips, but tennis grips that were better than was out there. Mina, he's doing super well. He makes supplements that are, his own unique blend. So it's closer to private label, but it's definitely its own thing. EcoSpace said, I joined you. Are you David G? Let me see. Let me refresh. EcoSpace. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. There's some other, wait a minute. October 12th. Oh, I see. There's Tommy L, Raul R, John K. Oh, we got some cool people joining. Yeah, I don't know if anyone listening, if you're one of those people, thanks for joining. Oh, Richard, thank you for the kind words. So Richard said, we agreed to take the leap on the 1K investment as we have spent more than that in past on learning curves for previous business ventures. We already feel like this is a head start with a mentor. Thank you so much. Koneski. Okay, Koneski. Thanks. So as the version 1. How do I access 2.0? Okay. Koneski, you should get access to version 2.0. If not, email help@passionproductformula.com. You should have got an email about it a while back. The new course is at passionproductformula.com. And that's another thing for anybody that joins, you get upgraded for life as they come out with new versions. And my hope is once a year to do a complete overhaul, makeover. I mean, when I say complete, like it's going to just be better and make things better constantly. So once a year, I mean, I update it throughout the year, but then like once a year, really go through and do a deep dive and try to figure out how to make things prettier, better, all that kind of thing. So TC asked, does the course include your experience in digital/offshore hiring to aid your product? Yes, I do a deep dive, and that's another thing I'm going to be doing an even deeper dive into is how to hire even deeper how to hire virtual assistants. So yeah, TC, if that's something you're interested in, definitely join. And as a you know, and it's funny because we've talked a lot in chat, but I don't remember if we've ever talked in person, but again, as I said with everything, if you join and for any reason you're like, you know, I want to know this, this, and this about how to hire a virtual assistant or work with a virtual assistant, I'll answer it. That's why I have a weekly Q&A. So EcoSpace said, I try to do it by myself and I'm overwhelmed. That's what I'm here for. I want to help you if you're overwhelmed. Rolly B said, already joined. Thank you. Amir Patel, hey mate, big fan. Really love your approach to selling on Amazon. Started the course today. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Yeah, we're getting a lot of people. This is really cool. Like you guys got to understand, and you got to understand it's really cool. Like this is what drives me. Like this is so much fun for me. And I said it earlier on this YouTube live, but let's put it this way. If I won the lottery, I'd still keep doing this course. I'd still keep doing my YouTube videos. It's fun for me. You got to understand, like, I love, selling performance nut butter. I loved. I'm not as passionate about it as I used to be because at first it was really fun for me. But at this point, I've kind of graduated in a lot of ways to the next stage. And the next stage is teaching. For me personally, it's teaching other people. For other people, some people like just launching product after product. And truth is, I probably could make more money if I just launched a product, blew it up as big as possible, and then launched more products like that. But I enjoy the teaching aspect. So thank you guys for all this. So John Johnson said from the title. So you know what? It said he understands that the course was free. There's a deposit you pay, John Johnson, but then once you complete the course and launch your product, you can get all your money back. So that's how you can join for free. That's how you can get the course for free. How to beta test my course for free. So that was the title, is how to beta test my course for free. And the way to beta test my course for free is join, put in the deposit, launch the product, and then ask for your money back. My hope is that you don't ask for your money back, but you know what? I believe in my formula, and I believe that it's worth every single penny, that if after you go through and launch a product, you don't think it is, if you disagree with me, I'll give you all your money back. So, Rosie Life, I'm Travis's student. Travis is a really nice person. If you're nice too, just join. Networking with similar, like-minded, and nice people is super important. Rosie always asks the best questions. By the way, she's always on the Q&A calls. Thank you, Rosie. I really appreciate that. I should start getting some more testimonials from people in the course. I got a few. I've been waiting to get testimonials until after people launch the product, but that was very nice of you to say, Rosie. And by the way, I didn't ask anybody in the chat. I should probably get people on the Q&A call. I didn't ask anybody in the chat to say anything nice. So for everybody that's been saying nice things, I appreciate that. Let's see. So let's see what else we got. We got healthy chocolate. Hey, I just clicked on the link and entered my info. Do I need to do anything else? So healthy chocolates, you should enter your email, and then on top of that, there is a deposit. So if you go to passionproductformula.com, you'll see the deposit. Could somebody create 10 to 15 passion products? Yeah, Oscar, someone could easily create 10 to 15 passion products. So Yasir said how to hunt a product. I talk about that in depth in other videos and on my course. Yeah, Robert Chen, the address is just to match for credit card purposes, by the way. Though in the future, I am thinking about giving out like a small gift to people, like mailing them a physical gift, but it would just be for right now, it's credit card purposes. In the future, if I end up doing like a small little gift, then it would, I'd ask for a separate address. Thanks, Robert, for super, super excited to see that you're joining. Like, I can't wait to talk to you about this. And Here's the thing, Robert. Like I said, I really, especially because you're someone that's been through other things, I want you to tell me, like, once you're in there, how I can make it better. 100% honestly, like, if you say, hey, this is bad because of X, Y, and Z, then let me know and I'll try my best to fix it. Let's see. So Yasir said, you know what, Yasir? Yasir, send me an email. He basically was saying he wants me, I'll show the message. He basically wants me to hire him for FBA. Send me an email. Send it to travis@effectivecommerce.com and let's talk. Right now, I'm not looking to hire someone, but I'll keep you on my radar, or maybe I can plug you in with someone. Ryan Wynn said, how do I go about finding a product to sell on Amazon? Check out my videos. I did a video 2-3 weeks ago. I said how I found a $50,000 a month product on Amazon FBA. That's this condensed version of how to find a product. In the course, obviously, I go into much more detail. So John Johnson asked, where can I see the course outline roadmap of the course? If you click in the link, so for everybody that's interested in joining, click. Oh, Dylan, I left you hanging. I'm sorry. I'll get back to you in a second, Dylan. John Johnson, where can I see the course outline? So in the link in the description for everybody, there's a link. Click on that link, put your email in there, and it'll send you to a page. And then scroll down to the bottom of the page. You'll see a complete like outline. It's an outline of the course, but it's more of like the benefits of each module, and it shows you like a general course structure. Dylan McHenry. Let me see. I don't know if I can see your, you said I left you hanging, but I don't see anything. Did you have a question or a comment? So yes, here, I told you my email. It's travis@effectivecommerce.com. So Dylan, I'm not sure how I left you hanging. So definitely let me know. All right. So let me answer a few common questions I got. So a lot of people are asking, what's the catch? Because the whole thing I offer is if you complete the course and launch your product, I'll give you 100% of your money back if you want. Now the way I'm phrasing it now is you can get as much of your money back as you think as you want. Like basically pay what you want for the course. So my hope is that my hope is to convince you that this is 100% worth it. And by the time you complete it, that you're like, dude, thank you so much. Just keep the money. You don't have to do that. That's completely up to you. So that's part of it is I'm hoping to so overwhelm you with like my help and how valuable this course is that you're so successful, you don't even care about the deposit. On top of that, even if you do want the deposit back, then the other way is I want as many success stories and testimonials as possible. I'm trying to do something more than just like make money. I'm trying to grow a community of passion product sellers here. So that's the catch is that like, I want you to be successful so I can surround myself with success stories. And if you look at my YouTube channel, some of my best videos are stories. They're stories of students of mine, like my girlfriend's video. Troy had a video, Mina, Michael. I just recently did a video with Michael. So as I get more success stories, I'm going to have more success stories on my channel, which is going to mean more sales. And over time, I'll probably end up being able to charge a lot for this. Another question I get all the time is if I'm not from the US, would that be a problem? No, I think 30-40% of the people that are in the course are outside of the US, and there's ways around it. Like you don't have to be a US person to sell on in the Amazon US. A lot of people ask too, is it okay if I don't have a product idea in mind? And the answer is 100% yes, it's totally okay. That's a big part of this course is teaching you how to create a product or how to find an idea for a product. Like that's the main point of this course in a lot of ways. Launching it on Amazon, I'm going to be honest with you, is easy. If you have a good product and you can grow a tribe, launching on Amazon's the easy part. I've got free videos on how to launch a video on Amazon. The more intricate part is how to come up with that idea. So I talked about earlier what makes my course different than the ones out there, what makes it better. I talked about before how much time does it take. What does this course include? I talked about that. I talked about there will be live training. Will you get to meet me? Yes, if you join on the live training or the weekly Q&A calls. There's also the private Facebook mastermind group that you get access to. Another question I get all the time is I don't want to launch on Kickstarter. I launched on Kickstarter. A lot of my students launch on Kickstarter. You don't need to. Honestly, I'd say 50 to 60% of the people in my course aren't going to launch on Kickstarter and don't launch on Kickstarter. So let me see. So let's see here. And Dylan, I see that you asked your question again. I'm going to get to it in a second. So Amir said, how did you deal with competitors and copycats for performance nut butter? Honestly, here's the truth. I let my business go on autopilot. And so how did I deal with competitors and copycats? Not very well. I'll be completely blunt. Like, I didn't do as good of a job as I could. The better way to do it would be to beat them to the punch and be better branded to them, have a bit stronger brand and a stronger community than they have. That's the real answer. After I launched Performance Nut Butter, I kind of stopped focusing on it as much and started focusing more on this YouTube channel because I wanted the passive income. That was the whole reason I launched Amazon, was $300 a day passive income, which I hit. So I can go into that in more detail later. Guys, we're only at 45 likes and we've been doing this for over an hour. Smash that like button. If you're new, if you just joined, hit the like button if you're actually actively listening, because it lets me know that there's still people listening. So let's see what else we got. Matthew, awesome. I found my passion product. I have samples right now. I love my product and know other people in my niche will also, but my product doesn't get searched on Amazon. Is it worth doing FBA? Matthew, let me know what your product is. If you don't feel comfortable doing it in the chat, send me an email or something and I can answer that in a little bit more detail. The answer is, just because people aren't searching for your exact product doesn't mean they're not searching for something else. If you can find search terms that are related to your product, then you can succeed on Amazon. For instance, when I first launched Performance Nut Butter, nobody was searching for Performance Nut Butter. Nobody was searching for macadamia, coconut, cashew blended nut butter. People weren't even really, not even that many people were even searching for keto nut butter. I was the first one like it, and I was able to have success because of that. So because I was able to leverage other things like keto snack and things. So there's a way around it. Dylan said, what website would you recommend if I was trying to create my own product instead of buying something on Alibaba? So you can still use Alibaba, but instead of buying the exact product that they have, send them an email and customize it. There's other websites out there as well. I talk about that, and I have other videos. If you look on my channel, I have a video that I released like a few months ago. The title's like how to find a manufacturer for Amazon FBA. What do I think about the upcoming Prime Day? Is it going to boost sales if we compare to last year because of the pandemic? Yeah, I think it's going to do pretty well. Robert Shen said, just join. Looking forward to learn new things from you and your community. Thank you so much, Robert. I'm super pumped. Like, honestly, it's kind of cool for me to see that this YouTube live actually works, that people are engaged, and that, like, I'm able to kind of answer some questions that people might have, or like get rid of some friction. And here's the biggest thing not the biggest thing. One of the top things I've learned in the last 8 years of entrepreneurship. A lot of entrepreneurship is about finding people that are a little bit further ahead of you that can remove friction, right? What I mean by this is, a lot of times new people, especially me, like, we overthink things. We're constantly overthinking things. We're creating a lot of friction. Like, should I do this or should I do this? And if you can find someone that's already made that decision, they can remove that friction and say, do this, do this, do this. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do, is removing friction. We're up to 55 likes. Sorry, I just hit this. Amir Patel, why wouldn't people launch on Kickstarter? I think there's a great idea leveraging other people's money. Yeah, I think so too. Amir, some people are just gung-ho and want to get on Amazon, or there's other reasons. And I think it's great to start with Kickstarter. I think it makes for a better story. I have a novel product. Should I launch on Indiegogo or Kickstarter? I know my product will be copied soon. Personally, Jeff, I like Kickstarter better. Or Indiegogo. Should I launch on Kickstarter? I like Kickstarter better than Indiegogo. I think it's the way to go, but that's a deeper question. It depends on your product. It depends on a lot of different things. You don't need to do it, like I said. If I have multiple product ideas, do you think they should be in the same category in order to be successful? It doesn't need to be, but I would say do one at a time. Do one product and then launch the next product and then the next product. Don't try to do them all at once. Do you need to spend thousands of dollars for PPC campaigns? No. If you're smart about it, you don't have to spend. If you're smart about it, you spend a few $100 and you can make that money back. Now, not always is that easy. Let's be completely honest. Some people do need to spend thousands of dollars, but the idea is that you should make that money back. Oscar says, why is this better than wholesale? Oscar, you need to watch some of my other videos. I have a lot of videos on this. I can't go into that in detail right now because I feel like I would go for a long time. The real reason is you create a real brand. You create a real unique product. You are the manufacturer. I mean, basically, you have someone else that's the manufacturer, but you are the company. So think about Nike. Nike's not wholesaling. They've created their own thing, right? And so, if you're a wholesaler, you're just the middleman. And other people can copy you. And it doesn't create and the wholesaler can cut you off at any point. There's a lot. RN said, thanks, I signed up. Will you be covering cross-border taxation consequences? So that's not something, it's Canadian selling in the US. It's not something I'm an expert on, but what I will promise you is I will get someone that's an expert about that on. So that's something I can, you know what? Yeah, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal, CPA or anything like that. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. I've never lived. I'm not a Canadian citizen, so I don't know how to do that off the top of my head, but I can get someone that does know how to do that and answer your question. So it says, I've heard it's hard to get approved for an FBA account during the holiday season. Should I wait until January to create my business account? No, try now. I mean, certain time, I've been able to do it in 2018, 2019. I was able to do it. It's been 2019. It was easier than it was in 2017. So I'll put it that way. Okay. Rolly B. Yeah, send me an email. Or you know what? Either ideally join the Q&A call, Rolly B. And we can talk about that. I do have some videos about that. And if that doesn't work, send an email to help@passionproductformula.com and we'll get it. So Dean said, I'm 17 and I'm working 9 to 5 and I hate it so much. I don't like this idea of working for someone or just working in general for the rest of my life. I think it's stupid and I want a way out. I'm going to tell you right now, Dean, if you join, don't join if I don't know, don't join if you don't have a little bit of money saved up. I don't want to put you in a bad position by any means, but Dean, if you join, you being 17, I would work so hard with you because I want to get some success stories that are 17, 18 years old because that makes for a really good YouTube video. So Dean, I'm telling you right now, there's a link down, and for everybody watching, there's a link down below. It's like effectivecommerce.com/PPF. You can even just type that in, effectivecommerce.com/PPF. Click on the link in the description. Dean specifically, but everybody watching, click on the link in the description and check it out. Join. Tomorrow is, as I mentioned, the last day. I think there's probably only like 5 spots left. I think a few people have joined on this call. So Dean, if you join, I'm going to work extra time with you because the fact that you're 17 and it would make a really good story for me. And look, I'm going to work with everybody here in depth, but Dean, that's my advice for you, Dean, is join, man. I wish when I was 17, I was smart enough to learn from other people. I was arrogant and I thought I could do everything on my own and life beat me up for it. So anyways, have your students been more successful than me? Yeah. Not Mina. Mina is much more successful than me at Amazon. So that's awesome. Okay, so let's go to PPF. Let me make sure. So go here. So for everyone, someone said the link's not working. If you use this link, Olivia said, oh no, who was it? Lisa said the link's not working. Go to that link and click learn more, put in your email and you'll get all the information. I have a product improvement idea in a high competition niche. Have you or any of your students done products in these high competition categories? I've seen people do it. It's tough. If it's a high competition thing, I personally wouldn't do it. Yeah. So Nico said, would I get a free update to your next course release if I were to buy your passion product course? 100% for life. Every time I update it, you get updated for free. So the earlier you do it, the longer you're going to have this. And keep in mind, I'm going to probably eventually raise the price. Right now, other Amazon courses, they were $1,000 back in the day, and now they're $4,800. So I'm going to be raising the price in time because as it becomes just more and more I already think it's super valuable. As it becomes more valuable and there's more success stories, I'll probably charge more. And maybe not, but that's the idea behind it. Guys, it's getting late. I don't usually work this late. So for the last time, I'm going to mention, if you go in the link down below, there's a link. I put it in the chat as well. effectivecommerce.com/PPF. Go to the description, sign up and join today. Like I think last I looked, like 6 spots or so left, and 6 spots left, and it closes tomorrow at midnight no matter what. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the course. All right.